Just like, what the heck? Like, you guys don't believe in freedom of speech? That's the kind of stuff that's very scary. Everybody wants to run around and talk about a conspiracy theory and this person's a conspiracy theorist, but in reality, you guys are all supporting the fact that our society is trying to push us to get rid of a lot more of our rights, really. And gosh, tell me if I do this, tell me if I do that. But then the moment that somebody actually does, like, communicate like, hey, did you know that you don't listen? And then 5 seconds later, they're out here with a rebuttal. Oh, wait, did you know that you just be ignoring me? It's like, what? Welcome to today's video. I want to talk about conspiracy theories. Basically, this Instagram conversation just sparked the idea medical malpractice is a conspiracy theory, and I was just like, where did you get that from? And then it's always the same group of people saying similar things, and it's just like, at this point, like, you're the conspiracy theorist, because it's like people were just talking about their diverse experiences with healthcare. Nobody said 100%, even the guy in the video didn't even say 100% every single person that's in the medical field, every doctor is out to get you and they have this grand elaborate scheme to harm you. Nobody said that. But it's the people in the comment section, like some of them that are saying, oh, this guy is making up stuff, and it's like, I know a lot of people that have had like issues with different like healthcare practitioners, so yeah. Are they all doing that? No, not at all. But I'm just saying, it's hard to find good people. I literally went to the doctor. I had to go to urgent care because I had a bladder infection, and I think it was from the soap that I used, because my routine and everything is like literally the same. This story time is like TMI, but to give you perspective, yeah. The practitioner got a sample of my urine, a urine sample, and then he never sent it off, which I didn't know that was like a thing. He just gave me antibiotics, which I knew I needed antibiotics. Yeah, so I went to a different one, and the lady was very thorough. She like took my blood pressure and everything. She touched my back and asked me questions. It was a very thorough visit. Different experience. And then she even sent off my urine sample to the lab. There are two different experiences. So basically, my bladder infection, like, you know, it like healed, but it didn't fully go away. So when I got my cycle the next month, I still had like, you know, those symptoms, and it was starting to come back. And then so I was just like, okay, because I never have like UTIs or anything like that, and I was just like, okay, what did I do differently? Did I use a soap? And I was just doing a bunch of research. Literally everything around us is poison, so it's like, could be literally anything. My routine's the same. Yeah, so yeah. The lady was really like nice, and she answered all my questions. I even asked about like what kind of underwear. She was like, cotton is best, and you should let everything air out, like, you know, just all of those things, because like, yeah. So and I also like did research too, and apparently some people actually do. I hear there's a lot of like menstrual cycle issues a lot of people have. A lot of people have irregular periods too, because like none of my roommates synced up with me, and I feel like I say this all the time, but it's just like, yeah, usually like everybody's like following each other. Yeah, and I have like a household of siblings, so like I know. But anyway, so okay, I'm gonna play the video. Excuse my bed in the background, and yeah. So I took a screenshot because I was kind of curious to see what is the perspective of this. Oh, that's the Chips Ahoy video. There was a dessert I have to. screenshot because I was like, oh my gosh, like what is that? Now I want to play the video and I want to see what you guys think.
After you gave birth in a hospital, nurses will come up with the wildest excuses to take your baby out of the room. The sketchiest part is that they will come in between midnight and 6 a.m. to test on the baby when you're the most tired, vulnerable, and ideally without company. Mothers, whenever anybody in a hospital wants to examine your baby without you being present, please just refuse and stop the argument right there. There is absolutely no medical reason why they can't do the necessary testing either in your room or letting you come to the nursery, so please don't let them confuse you. Unfortunately, I can't directly address the practices they do in hospitals when you're not watching because it caused threats against me and the people around me in the past, so I encourage you to connect with the newsletter on my website. But I can say, please don't trust everything you see in a hospital. Let me know your thoughts below.
Clearly he's talking about personal experience, and then he was just saying, just don't trust everything that you see in hospitals. It's pretty simple. And people are in the comment section saying, oh my gosh, this is a bunch of BS. Some people actually were talking about their own personal experiences that align to like this, what he was talking about, like, you know, just sketchy protocols and like things like, was it even a protocol? Like, I feel like it's wrong to, I know. It is definitely wrong to sit here and tell somebody that they're a conspiracy theorist and they need to literally shut up because they're talking about an issue that happened to them. That's weird. That is weird. Like, it's giving, like, do you not question anything that happens? Like, that's kind of like, that's literally the whole point of a doctor, like, visit and you communicating your, like, the things that you have experienced with, like, literally anybody that you receive a medical service from. That's, okay. Yeah, but this one person, I'll have the screenshots, like, right here because I'm making a cute little space. Everybody's gonna be, like, blocked out, or, like, you know, like, the users and stuff like that. And yeah, because it's just, in general, it's really about the conversation, because a lot of people have, like, they say and do things like this in the comment sections all the time, and I'm just like, okay. And I also find it interesting too how Instagram, you have like a larger amount of, like, a large amount of space to, like, say what you want and how you feel on certain topics, but then you go to TikTok and you only have like 3 sentences, which TikTok has a lot of back and forth going on, and like you can really like understand somebody's viewpoint on TikTok because there's like not enough to there's not enough room to explain. In general, everybody's coming from different like experiences and backgrounds and viewpoints, so it's like the extra space and explanation, it like really kind of like helps like you understand like the perception, like, oh, like how did this person get to this perception? And it seems like a lot of people, like, they have a very limited viewpoint and like they only talk to like 5 people with similar belief systems, like, and I know because I have some people in my environment that literally do that. I'm just like, they're the type of people to turn on the TV and literally just start yapping about everything that the television told them with no question. Like, people do this all the time with politics, and I'm just like, if people actually just engage in conversations with people from like various perspectives, even if you don't agree, half of the stuff that people argue about on the internet wouldn't even be happening. And like, that's something that you also have to be mindful about too, because every time like this also happens, a lot of tension tends to peak during election season. Both sides, Democrat and Republican, like, they're not even talking about anything, any of the issues that need a solution, but like people are going back and reversing laws and stuff. And then like every few years it's like an on and off, like one group will say something that's actually making sense and the next group is sounding like conspiracy theorist, and just like they're just not making sense at all. So yeah, I just want to say that. Anyway, so this one dude says, this one person says, conspiracy theorists are wild. And then so I asked the question, medical malpractice is a conspiracy theory? People have diverse experiences with medical practitioners. Very clear and simple and true. There's this YouTuber, I've actually been watching her for like a few years, and she had a baby and she was talking about her traumatic birth experience, and she was saying how she could feel everything, like them cutting on her, and it was kind of really traumatic and scary. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I haven't finished the video yet, but I've had a similar experience like that with the dentist when I got my molar teeth removed. I woke up and I could actually feel everything, and he said I wasn't going to even remember walking to the office. That's the average patient experience. They don't remember walking into the office. But yeah, I woke up and they were using like that giant tool, and like I see how some people get their jaws dislocated. Those tools are like, whoa. I couldn't feel anything, but he had to keep upping my dosage. So yeah, I'm just saying, diverse experiences. And then so this person replies to me, and they said, doctors are sworn under the Hippocratic Oath that they cannot intentionally cause harm. Additionally, their many years of experience learned through their jobs and education gives them high expertise, making unintentional harm incredibly unlikely. No one is out to harm your baby in a hospital. If you believe doctors have some malicious scheme to do, so then you're a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, and I said, well, conspiracy theory is when something almost makes sense, but it has a missing gap of information that does not make sense. Hence the quantum. I literally took a class on this, like, be for real. That doesn't mean anything though, but I'm just saying, this word is thrown around so much that to the point where people just see this word, and then as soon as they come across someone or something that doesn't make sense, they assume that that person or situation is a conspiracy theory, and that is literally not the case, when in reality we really don't know how societies actually ran. Okay, and here's another thing about this video too. I just want to say, this video, it is unclear whether or not the person is, at least from this one video, if the person making the video is specifically talking about US healthcare, if they worked at, if they, or the situation that they're referring to is specifically for US healthcare systems and facilities, or if it's like, you know, foreign country, another country. So yeah, but there is a very diverse group of people in the comment section, like literally from all around the world, like agreeing and disagreeing. It wasn't really a specific group that was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, there was a lot of people too saying like, if you don't like America, then get out. And it's like, just other people just for explaining their own experiences. And I was just like, okay, but like, is that not true? I mean, there is no perfect society, but I mean, like, when we are at a point where we can't voice our own opinions, like, you're literally like, it's giving, like, when people talk about there's an agenda to silence the public, there's no, you can see this stuff happening and playing out, and the attempts that they're making. Like, why are we going back and redoing laws and all of this other stuff? It doesn't make any sense. When we have mental health issues and a bunch of other things, we have like Skid Row, we have garbage in the ocean, we have oil spills that are not properly cleaned up. Yeah, it's like, no, this stuff is making sense. You people work and pay taxes, yet the communities they live in, you're not seeing that money really come back and like improve with the education system. The education system could be improved. There's a lot of issues we can talk about all day long, like seriously. Anyway, let me just start from the beginning. Well, conspiracy theory is when something almost makes sense, but it has a missing gap of information that does not make sense. hence Quanon group is an example, because some of the stuff makes sense, but then you get to a point, there's like a hole in the story, you just can't connect no matter what you do. But a lot of the stuff that's labeled conspiracy theory literally has been vocally said by high-ranking people in our government and stuff like that. Like, it's literally been solidified, and it actually makes sense. Yeah. So many people throw the phrase around, yet a lot of conspiracy theories are factual and supported by your local textbook and high-ranking professionals. I was speaking from a more general sense of medical malpractice, not just regarding mother and child. We live in a world of contracts and sworn oaths, yet things still happen in society. I get what you're saying about doctors, education, and experiences. It appears you are aware that knowledge goes full circle. Experience, education, history, observation, etc. It all connects and makes for real knowledge, not just a book. Everyone who has constructed books and education understands this to a greater extent. That is the difference between workers and leaders. Literally. I mean, who decides what we learn in school, and who decides what is necessary information that we need to know? Clearly, workers and leaders. Like, there's no secret that we're like trained to be workers. That's why a lot of people actually, they've done studies on this too. It shows that oftentimes the people that are making like the higher GPAs, they say that those are typically the kids that have that need a little help compared to the ones that aren't doing so well. And this is true because I have friends like that. My friends that were making almost a 3.8 GPA, 4.0s, when it came to like real life stuff, they didn't have a lot of street smarts. They really didn't. One moment. Where was I? Yeah, I was saying my friends that had like the higher GPAs typically did not have a lot of common sense, but they could pass the test, I kid you not. And the ones that did not typically do that well, they had a lot more common sense. I just noticed that is a thing among like a lot of my peers from high school anyway. Yeah, they had more common sense, like in regards to street smarts compared to the other group that were more school smart. But not that these both groups of people weren't smart, but it's just like yeah, the ability to connect information and to like, you know, filter out lies, just apply like certain skills to like real life. Yeah. There's a difference, a noticeable difference. And there are some people that are both street smart and book smart. Yeah, but in general, school doesn't teach you the who, what, when, where, how, why. There's not enough time in the day for that. For them, yeah, so, yeah. But at the same time, I feel like we should, like, after, like, 12th grade, we should know how to, like, the finances work and everything. Like, my mom talks about how, like, oh, she's like, you guys don't know how to balance a checkbook? Like, they don't teach that anymore? Like, that was, like, literally astounding to a lot of, like, older family members. Just in general, just, like, the older generation, because that stuff isn't taught in school like it used to be. And now, like, people are even more lost as soon as they graduate high school. Okay, there was, like, a really long paragraph, because I was just like, oh my gosh. It seems like you may be the conspiracy theorist, given that you have alluded that my previous statement hinted to some elaborate grand scheme to plot on the demise of people, when I simply stated everyone has diverse experiences with healthcare. In general, if you work any job in an environment that lacks proper communication, training, and leadership, how much are you really going to learn? Education varies, and there are great medical professionals out there. But when there are hospitals known for people dying from treatable issues, that is a problem. That would be a red flag to anyone with common sense when the neighboring hospital has far better rates of care. The mothers in the comment section that are sharing their experiences have a right to share their stories. Some have described sketchy experiences, and others have had smooth experiences where all testing was done in the room, hence my previous statement of diverse healthcare experiences with medical practitioners. Does that sound like a conspiracy theorist to you? That sounds like common sense. A lot of people are literally under the impression that life is so black and white and everything has the short answer. Like, everything is literally given to us in a short answer, but a lot of this stuff actually connects. But we are taught to compartmentalize everything in regards to our health, society, countries. Like, is everyone not connected to the World Bank? How does banking work? Why don't we know the flow of money? These are, oh my gosh, I should make a video on like things that still doesn't make sense even after high school. And even college, like, no, and you know what's crazy though? In my textbook, I took dual credit government in high school. And there was literally a section that said that the average American voter is stupid. Why would someone print that into a book with such heart? And if you look around, the average person will sit here and tell you that they're Democrat or Republican, yet know nothing about the other side. Make sense. And then on top of that, I literally have a family member that will turn on the TV and indulge in all the information that in regards to Democrats. And then turn the TV off and then start yapping away about Democrat this, Democrat that, you sound like a Republican. It's literally insane. Yeah, when you ask a question, okay, like, what's the other side? What's their aim? Silence. And then on top of that too, it's just like people like say the weirdest things, especially even about like illegal immigrants. This person refers to people crossing the border as aliens in a derogatory way, but at the same time we learn a lot of information from TikTok talking about how America, not even just TikTok, if you ever engage in the conversation with people from other countries, they will literally tell you that the heroism that we are portrayed to at a very young age in America is not as the picture is, you know, painted to other countries. Because it's not the case. We're involved in war crimes and all this other stuff, and it's just, yeah. And then we're taught to instantly question if the next person, anybody foreign to us, is a terrorist. But then when people, fellow Americans are terrorizing others in the country, within the country, they're not considered terrorists. But are people still not terrorized? Make it make sense. I forgot to finish my other thought. Okay, so America like goes down to other countries, and you know, infiltrate them, which we have a long history of. So like, if anyone's ever gonna say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, ask Hawaii. Ask Hawaii. And then yeah, and all the other countries too, because yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so comment 3 of 3. This video is so long, but I just feel like this has to be said because I just see so much stuff and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, let's be for real. Anyway, I said after all, you are aware of media censorship. Real medical professionals were being censored for reading from their medical textbooks online during our recent pandemic, which is very true. I forgot the doctor's name. I'll have to go back and look him up. But anyway, he was a Harvard medical student. He does preventative health, and he was sharing his knowledge and even reading from his textbook, and he was saying that like him and a lot of other people that utilize social media to educate people, and he was saying that he was being called and labeled a conspiracy theorist and anti-vax. You guys know vax versus anti-vax. That was a major thing used to cause chaos and utilize the implementation of peer pressure to encourage people to get injected with a vaccine. But didn't your parents tell you not to do drugs? But they were for the first bodies to tell you to just take this drug. Meanwhile, That was so interesting because I was taking biology at the time. We were learning about herd immunity. Then, like, literally a few months after, the next year, really, the pandemic happened. And then they're saying, oh, well, you know, as the more people take the vaccine, the better everything will be. Then the herd immunity talk started to dissipate. And then it's just like, okay, but what about the people that are immune compromised? I had a teacher that was immune compromised. Yeah. People have, and there was a lady that had cancer. Her immune system was shot after chemotherapy. So how are doctors treating people with immune compromised systems? Yeah. That's like, nobody asked that question. That wasn't even a conversation. But yet, anybody that was talking about this, there were people that were perfectly fine after taking the vaccine, and then there were people, they were saying, literally some family members, weird things happened to them after that. Like, to the point, if you have to silence people at such a mass rate, things need to come to a halt. They really do. I might do a 2020 video later. I don't know, because you know, you have to wait a few years to talk about such events like that. 70 years from now, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, well, you know, we didn't know this wasn't healthy at the time. Or, well, you know, we thought that we were doing this, but then this ended up happening. Well, everyone's asking questions now. It's, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist and all this other stuff, which is so lame because everybody has a different, like, you know, body and stuff, and people were also getting kickbacks from administering the vaccine as well. Some people join the medical field for the money, the dollar sign. That's all they see. Let's be for real. There's not a lot of people that are passionate about their job these days, and yeah, and I've never said that there were medical practitioners that were not serious about their job, nor like seriously, no. There are some great people that are doctors out there. And then also too, we have to remember that there's more than one medicinal study. This is westernized medicine. We need to remember that the United States is a corporation and they support businesses. Books will tell you that. And observations. I just never see people having like such deep conversations, because TikTok and short form videos are so short to the point where it's like, okay, sometimes it's gonna come off as a conspiracy theory to people that don't understand, because it's like, okay, how do we follow like where you're getting this information from? Because I see videos like that too, and then it's just like not enough time for people to explain like, how did you come to this conclusion? Why do you say that? And then some people don't care, they just like to argue. So it's like, So I said, after all, you are aware of media censorship. Real medical professionals were being censored for reading their medical textbooks online during our recent pandemic. Have you questioned media bias of any of the conversations being pushed to the public's eye? You are aware that the US is a corporation and supports businesses, which is very true. Hence, like when the conversation comes around of certain people not paying taxes, you can become tax exempt. It's a thing, and legally. So yeah, does everybody know? I'm not a financial professional, but like, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's a reason why they make society so confusing, to the point where you ask people that have been voting for like 40 years and they still don't know. That's a problem. Yeah. And it's not like a specific culture either. It's literally just in general, just various, you know, Americans. Like, yeah. Okay. And I also said, you are aware that the US is a corporation and supports businesses. There's a reason why people are legally exempt from taxes, and not all of them are wealthy / rich. They truly understand. Okay, so I said they truly understand what is consistently overlooked by the public. It's not just about books. Look around and engage in conversations with individuals with different perspectives. Ask people why/how did they come to the conclusions on the topic discussed. This will tell you what kind of person you're dealing with. Literally. No, and then this other guy, he literally told me to shut up. He was attacking this lady for talking about her birthing experience and how they took her son out of her room, and she later found out that they injected some type of medicine. They administered some medicine to her child, and then she had to go and find another health practitioner. And yeah, so some people were in the comment sections attacking that lady, and it was like, how are you attacking somebody for a personal experience that they have? Like, you were there, but you weren't. And then there's, like I said, diverse healthcare experiences. There are some people that had a very smooth healthcare experience. Should I question them on why they're lying about their smooth healthcare experience? No, that's weird. We're not gonna do that. Neither should you do the opposite, especially when there's a multitude of people talking about how that has happened. There are doctors known to remove kids from the home. It's like literally. So yeah, healthy kids. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the US that's like very third world like that happens here. Yeah, not a lot of people are educated about it. And then we also have to question too, why is everything that's pushed by our society is demonic? But then we, like, literally the public complains about how, oh my gosh, we don't have good music or anything like that. Why is it that when people get discovered, they have so much creative freedom, but as soon as they sign that contract, suddenly they're rapping about coochie. Oh my gosh, that sounds so like, they're literally rapping about, like, you know, highly explicit and sexual stuff. Like, and people are tired of hearing that too. And it's not just the rap industry. There's a lot of, like, literally everything has like some type of sexual connotation to it. I listen to all types of music genres, and I'm just like, why is everybody always thinking about the same thing? Like, we can't just, like, yeah. And then you'll hear like SoundCloud artists, and like they sound really good. They just need the equipment and, like, you know, just a little bit of help, and they could blow some of these people out of the water. I'm saying. Yeah. But anyway, this guy, he said, if oh yeah, suddenly, why are all these people so tired as soon as I say something? I know I like typed, I gave an essay and everything, but if I did like a 3-sentence response, it's just gonna go over their head, and then they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you don't know what you're talking about, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. Just more ammo to gauge. But then when I'm explaining everything, giving off examples, then everybody's suddenly too tired. But you just said we have conspiracy theorists. But you missed the guy's point when he said don't trust everything that you see. Which, are you not taught that by your parents? And like any elder with a common sense, like they literally tell you that. Be careful, because you might accidentally sign your life away. Make sure you read this. Make sure you understand that. Go get a second opinion. Go get a third opinion. Yeah. So this person says, if I'm honest, I'm too tired to write an argumentative response. So I'm just gonna say, you can stick with your beliefs and I mine. And I was just like, okay. Okay, I was trying to say it was just a kind reply. Yeah. I need to get rid of some of my keyboards, and autocorrect is a thing. It's like, sometimes when I like read things, I'm just like, am I tripping, or is it just like, not literally, but yeah. But anyway, But I basically said there was nothing to argue about. I was just replying kindly. Everything I stated is taught in college in K through 12, literally. And I thought we agreed with the importance of education and experience that aligned with knowledgeable expertise. But have a lovely day. Cause like, literally. And then this other person said people take freedom the wrong way sometimes. And I'm just like, it's like there are some terrible hospitals out there for sure. It's important people share medical malpractice. It happens every day, and it's very scary how people think it's a conspiracy theory. There are some great medical practitioners out there, but it's not every day you find them. Yeah, literally. Yeah. But you can see, like, in this, like, thing, like, you know, this one person stuff, like, you know, use the R word to describe the video. Yeah, but this one guy, he was, I had to say something, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how dare you say that to this lady. She's like a RN or something. She's like a nurse or something. And this is the same lady that was talking about how they took her baby and administered some medicine to him that he wasn't supposed to have. And then people were also talking about formula too, and how like their babies wouldn't latch on because the hospital was secretly feeding them formula. And so they were never able to breastfeed. And I was just like, yeah, that should be a personal choice if people want to breastfeed or not. If your baby's not naturally latching onto you, then that's the thing. Let that occur naturally, but not because your hospital made the decision for you to administer formula when it was not for a necessary reason. That's completely different. But anyway, yeah, so this other guy, he was saying, I just wanted to say that because, yeah, tell me why the one guy is still, like, messaging me after he said, if you shouldn't be on the internet if you can't say what you need to say in 3 sentences. But then you will literally sit there and label somebody as a conspiracy theorist as soon as they say something that you don't understand. Make it make sense. People. No, it's just like, oh, I think he thought I was making jabs at his age. He was like, oh, I'm 29, so you can miss me with that old stuff. And I said, you're the older generation. I'm Gen Z. You're a millennial. Literally. Oh my god. People aren't really that deep, but then we wonder why the divorce rate is so, like, high. Because nobody's paying attention. Like, how can you sit there and, like, call yourself a friend, a family member, and all this other stuff, and you can't read the room? No, I kid you not, literally every single friend that I had, even if they were a fake friend, they loved that I was, like, a very attentive person. Because, like, nobody really listens to people, and people love that stuff. But however, it's like, yeah, I should start charging people, because the moment that, like, you have something to say, suddenly you need to be quiet, you talk too much. No. And, like, people need to stop with that, because, like, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Freedom of speech. Like, this one guy literally sat here and bullied this lady. Her comment is now deleted, so I can't even, yeah. But it's ridiculous. Like, you literally can't share a personal experience these days without somebody taking it all the way to the moon. How are you bullying somebody for a personal experience? Are you God? No, you're not. Like, it's ridiculous. And this wasn't the only person that was doing this, but it's just like, what kind of stuff? You guys are literally sounding like the conspiracy theorists, because it just, like, doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I guess, but this is what I mean by, like, everybody's always trying to say, oh my gosh, you need to vote, you need to do this. I don't believe we vote. And one of the main reasons why that I believe that the vote doesn't actually work It's because people, it's literally in textbook, and then you look around in society and you see that why they say the average American voter is stupid. Because the fact that you're on here telling people that they sound ridiculous and need to shut up, it's crazy. And how many Lifetime movies are on TV where such things have happened, where doctors have violated HIPAA? And was there not, didn't one of the gymnastics doctors actually get like called out for literally abusing like a lot of people throughout his 30 years? So people don't violate their HIPAA. Okay, excuse the background noise, but I'm just saying, like, they're really acting like people don't violate HIPAA or anything like that. Like, I guess. No. And I had a reply to this person, because like this person said they're like, oh, they're not about to read my essays. Clearly they're still reading them. The fact they keep replying, maybe they really enjoy the fact that somebody's actually being real. Yeah, and then based on Instagram, and that's always the people that be putting their whole family on Instagram too. And then I think that this person's like married and everything with a kid, and I'm just like, why you guys put, oh my gosh, no, some people like be out here just saying the most like off-base things, and they be having the whole family up there. Some people be out here saying spicy stuff on the internet. It's just like, no, you didn't say that, and you have a whole family on Facebook. That's, I tell my family, like, don't you put me on your Facebook. Don't you do it. And you're like, no, I just want to show people about the day that we had. One person just, like, got back, and, like, oh my god. It is just crazy, though, like, at least we're having clear communication though, because it's just like you have to state 47 times and use kind emojis. No, the one guy said, sorry, too many people argue on Insta, so I assume most conversations I have are arguments. No worries. And I understand. I don't know how long this video is, but I thought it was gonna be like 12 minutes, but it's like, can we really have a 12-minute conversation on such topics? Like, seriously. Yeah, but I just wanted to do a talking video today. Like, oh my gosh, and my makeup, by the way, I blended my makeup with my fingers, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, does it really look this good? We will see when we edit this. But yeah, I was thinking about doing a beauty video though. I don't know. I might, but I like to keep like a fresh, like, looking face style of makeup when I do makeup. Sometimes I see, okay, I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes when I see my acne, I'm just like, I just can't stop focusing on like the acne scarring. So yeah, oh, people always want to like make you be quiet or shut up, because like literally I have like this one person that's like, oh, you can miss me with that, I'm 29 but hit me next year when I'm 30. About the old comments, and I'm just like, dude, no, it's like not even like a jab at your age, because like clearly you don't look that old. And like be for real, no. But it just makes me wonder, like, okay, honestly, if you like really think about it, like, you guys know how like when your parents when like you ask them questions or even like say anything, like they were like basically like, you know, trying to tell you like, oh, don't get smart with me, don't do this, don't do that. And then like, even if what you're saying is actually very logical, because it happens all the time, it still happens till this day, parents with this style then wonder why their kids don't like, okay, well, you know, they can cause the kids to grow up and to like do different things. Like, you know, this person may be obsessed with the point of always being right, or they may actually end up being like, you know, quiet and a shell of a person. So it really just depends, because like, you know, there's so many different outcomes that can, you know, create different issues later down the line. Because like, oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but like yeah, nobody really gives like the perspective of like the teenager or the kid And it seems like as soon as like people like quit being a teenager, they forgot what it's like to be a teenager. And like, yeah, but like maybe not everybody's an observative person. So like that's a thing too. I can tell you, like, there's like certain things like I've seen like, you know, my friends do and like, you know, their households. So like, when it comes time to start that family, we won't be doing some of those things. So like, it's really important to have like, you know, look at the perspective of thyself, because what are you unconsciously like passing down to people that like, you know, you like potentially raise? Because like how many people have like picked up traits on like, you know, dating and like human communication, like that they learned from their household that was like, you know, not all that proper. Yeah, it's just things like that. But then it's just like nobody wants to have these real conversations. Everybody's so like, you know, reactive and like, you need to listen to me. And it's just like nobody's gonna want to listen to you, because what are you adding to the conversation? Like literally, it is ridiculous. Like the amount of people, I kid you not, it's like literally there's a bunch of people in my family. I don't even say anything to them. I'm literally like slowly like backing away, because I'm just like, yeah. And then if you say something like, they're like, oh my gosh, you do this. I have family members that will literally, they're like, oh my gosh, tell me if I do this, tell me if I do that. But then the moment that somebody actually does like communicate like, hey, did you know that you don't listen? And then 5 seconds later, they're out here with a rebuttal. Oh, wait, did you know that you just be ignoring me? It's like, what? I was calling my mom over the table at like dinner. One of my sisters, she just turned 16. And my aunt was just like, she was like basically like making like fun of me for like calling my mom's name for like 57 times, because like her and like my other sister, like they do that all the time. Like, is it a zodiac thing? I don't know. They're both Aries, but like suddenly they have like selective hearing. Like they're like in this weird like trance like state. But then if I'm in like a state like that, or if I do that or anybody else, they're like offended, like, oh my gosh, why are they ignoring me? What's going on? And like, are you guys okay? Are you okay? Like, I guess. But yeah. And then I'm just like, you know, and like, oh my gosh, people always talk over me in the house. Like I will literally have a conversation, and then like somebody else will like literally like walk in, and it's just like, but it's not like they understand any of the conversations I have with them anyway. So it's like, and people literally, it is so hard to find people to understand like basic. You can talk about the most basic stuff and people are getting mad at you. I feel like a lot of people have, no, I know, it's not I feel, I know a lot of people have like an issue with like the, you know, my perspective on things, because my uncle was trying to tell me about how to start a business. And I'm just like, where's your business? Where's that business? Because everybody that's over here talking about these apps, you're young, you can do this, you can do that. How are you starting a business with no funding? And then, you know that like a lot of businesses fail too. So like, yeah, literally everybody that has a successful business will tell you that the beginning is rough. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. There is nothing wrong. And I was saying like, I'm looking for experience because I want to be under people and learn different environments. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you clearly can't run out there and do stuff on your own. He did that and ended up going back to the job. So it's like, how dare you? But like, if you say this in front of them, then they're gonna be so like, you know, oh my gosh, how dare you disrespect me? You literally just stopped, like, you know, he just walked away from the conversation and like, you know, yeah, left, because it's just like, yeah, one of those individuals that like to get super loud with you and to make their point, and like, you know, just kind of like come off as like really like aggressive and like literally mean, really. And it's just like, make it make sense. I'm not gonna follow you into like an area where you clearly have like tried and not succeeded. So technically you're the result of what happened with you is all just further ensuring that what everybody else says about being an entrepreneur, it's not easy. Because clearly, like you're like reflecting that, and it's like, you know, it's crazy how everybody wants you to jump into waters that they won't dip their feet in. Like, that's a little quote, but I'm just saying it's true. Like, people like really don't, yeah, like they'll tell you, like, you know, lead you to the wolves, but then they're like, oh, I'm not going over there. Why not? But you have all this stuff to say. If it's so safe, it's so easy, why haven't you got back up? Why didn't you bounce back? Why haven't you came back with an even better idea? And I even made the statement too, because like when you deliver a lot of logic to people and they don't have a rebuttal, they're not clear, it becomes apparent that they're not clearly like thinking through what they're saying, because they're like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I just stop talking to people, and then people will just assume that, oh, that's why you don't have anything to say, because you know I'm right. And it's like, no, you sound stupid. Like, let's be for real. Like, you sound very ignorant. And like there's some people that you just like literally can't argue with them. It's like, no, like we're not even arguing. Like, we really can't have like a basic conversation. Like, they get so loud and everything, and like even like when I like state things, you literally have to use I use a billion emojis, because I'm like, I'm not trying to sit here and spend the day arguing, and like this other person clearly must be lonely, because the fact that they keep saying, oh, now suddenly it's always the people with the poorest grades that are the loudest. What school did you go to? Like, clearly, like, you need to diversify your environments, because it's like, what? Like, no, I'm actually the quiet kid that observes everything, like, weirdo. Oh, and then he's gonna sit here, this other dude's gonna sit here and tell me, one of the Instagram people, they're gonna sit here and tell me that I need to focus on doing courses and get my crap together. Marketing communication, yeah. I'm in my alignment. Social listening, human observation, I'm in alignment with what I'm doing on a daily basis. When I do interviews, I talk about this stuff. Literally. How can you sell anything to anyone and you don't understand the target audience? Yeah. Yeah. No, and like be for real. Be for real. Make it make sense. There is nothing that's on your phone that like the algorithm isn't pushing to you. That like, I can tell you guys some really trippy stuff, but like a lot of people like don't understand. Like, they don't understand, because it's like one thing, I'm just like rambling at this point. I don't even know if this is gonna go in the video or not, but I'm just like, I thought this would be like a really nice time to just have like a conversation and just like open up the discussion for like these things, because I just like, it is so annoying like seeing all this stuff go down, and it's just like everybody's yelling at each other. It's like, we can't have a one-way conversation, because like a proper two-way conversation without somebody trying to belittle the next person. Like, this guy's literally just giving, like, he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong for saying that to that lady, which was so disrespectful. And like, he wasn't the only one, he was just one of many. And it's just like, it was literally, it's just like, what the heck? Like, you guys don't believe in freedom of speech? That's the kind of stuff that's very scary. Everybody wants to run around and talk about a conspiracy theory and this person's a conspiracy theorist, but in reality, you guys are all supporting the fact that our society is trying to push us to get rid of a lot more of our rights, really. And you saying all of this stuff, saying that like, you know, this person needs to shut up, that person needs to shut up, you need to stop. Because why is everything on TV about a dystopian society and martial law where people are literally held in a flippin' chokehold and can't even move or breathe? Anyone that is neurodivergent or has an opinion is like unalived. How many movies do you have to see like this Like, be for real. And it is scary that like so many people are, they're the perfect candidates for that society. They're just like, shut up and do what you're told. This one girl on TikTok, she was talking about how she was just like saying the most basic stuff that everybody and their mother talks about. Whoa, who told us that we had to work and do this and do that? Like, she was just sitting in her car questioning that you have to like work and pay for all this stuff that you barely get to use because you're so busy working. But is she not right though? Literally, like back in the day, you only had to work like 13 days out of the month and the rest was leisure time. This was after the Industrial Revolution. Now you work most days out of the month and then you barely have time. Then people wonder why they're so depressed and this and that, and people are like, oh my gosh, they're making this up. You barely have time to see your families. Like, that's weird. And then you question, why is the next generation so bad? They're being raised by the government. And why is your government, people love saying, oh, our government wouldn't do that, they wouldn't do that. They allow your kids to listen to songs about coochie and sexual and anything with sexual connotations. That's some of the first things that they do, and it's not just the Black community, it's everywhere, because I have a diverse palette of music, and I can tell you, most of the songs have a sexual connotations in them. So, yeah. Anything that is, like, for your greater good, or your, like, anything that's involving health benefits or your greater good, it's, like, not supported. It's not, because it's, like, yeah. But I'm gonna go now, because, like, okay, I for one forgot what I was about to say, but, like, I guess I'll find whatever pieces I want to put in this video in there. But, yeah, I feel like, you know, I said what I wanted to say. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to say a quick thing though too. I literally had a dream like today, and like the fish tank broke in this dream. It was like a large fish tank, and this girl, she was like trying to pick up the fish, and like the water was spilling out. And I had a fish tank dream like a month ago or so, but like this one I was like trying to decode the dream, and it was saying that you're letting out like emotions that you had like pent up and stuff. And it, like, I've been like very vocal today and like very like, yeah, which I'm like really quiet, but I'm just like, no, some of these people have lost their marbles in this comment section. But let's see if anyone's this vocal when that election rolls around, when they're literally trying to serve you more BS on a platter. We will see how many people are gonna start talking about things that actually matter. Like, we literally have criminals rolling the street that have a long list of victims, typically female victims, and they just slip through the fingers of the justice system. Yet we have people that are occupying spaces in jail that, like, you know, guilty for stuff just so they can like avoid certain situations in prison, because, you know, everybody raps about, oh, you're going to prison, this, that, and the third, and doing anything that can put you in prison. But who's trying to be sexually harassed in prison? And this is, and especially for like guys love saying that like everything's gay. Oh my gosh, this is so gay, that's so gay. And like very homophobic typically, but like you're going to prison and then you sag your pants. Do you know where that comes from? I guess. But, you know, thank you guys for watching this video, and like, you know, I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys have to say on the matter, and like, how do you guys feel about the election? And well, the election hasn't happened or anything, but like just in general, just like past elections and like society, like what are things that you believe that people should be talking more about and focusing on? Because like mental health, Skid Row, like garbage in the ocean, oil spills. Like, do you guys also like find it weird too, like how you know, with the whole private jet thing, they were, I believe it was like Kylie Jenner or like something like that, a celebrity that we actually see, they were talking about how they we're messing up the environment by taking private jets everywhere, but it's just like, imagine the wealthy people that you don't see. Like, those people are rich. They're not wealthy. They're not like one of the 13 families. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like stuff like that. There's a lot of people that we don't see. Like, I can tell you like little side stories and stuff, but like we're already at time and I don't know how much of this I'm gonna even put in here. But because, you know, people don't like 2-hour long videos apparently. Yeah. Yeah, but long story short, in regards to the private jet thing, why is it that they sit here and project the problem one to the middle class and, like, you know, just in general the working class? People that typically won't use private jets or will even have the opportunity to experience a private jet, but they will push the issue onto you and say, hey, we need to save the world. We need to save the world. Yet you guys have billion-dollar businesses and people have literally created cars that run on water, but why did they confiscate the cars? Anybody who like who will re-engineer their car to run on water. And the guy that also like made a car that ran on water, I believe he went from California all the way to like New York or something on like 20 gallons of water, I believe. They want this stuff to sound like a conspiracy theory, but why does everybody always disappear when they make something like that? They cure cancer. This person disappears. Business first. Without money, like, these people, we have to like view things in like perspective. Because like if you look at the world and see like, okay, who's spiritually abundant? Who has the most faith? Who actually has a bigger moral compass? Like, what are your morals? Some people are spiritually poor but are financially rich. Like, they have a cold heart. They don't, yeah, they're just literally like a walking shell, but they have a lot of money in the bank. And then there's like, you know, sorry, it's notifications. But that's all I have to say for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like, yeah, don't forget to like share important things that are going on in society that like you think that people should like hear about, and like, you know, more conversations that we should be talking about besides like this like weird stuff that we are often pushed. We're like, oh my gosh, did you see this person's dress? I literally saw a news video, not a news video, it was, I know, like Apple News, like how it comes up on like the sidebar and stuff like that, and I was just like, did they really sit here and like write that? Like, honestly, has anything really been eventful to the point where like, oh my gosh? If they were talking about, I believe it was Sasha Obama's Telfar bag, and how she uses like a, they were bouncing between saying it's $200 to $700 in the article, and I was just like, really? That's all you have to say? There's people riding around on campus in $2,000 electric scooters, well, on $2,000 electric scooters, and they're worried about a Telfar bag? From the TikTok videos I've seen, they're pretty roomy, and like, if you're looking for a really nice weekend bag that's like big and roomy and it has a space for your laptop and everything, you should probably look into one of those. So, I mean, they're among one of the bags a lot of women love, so, well, just a lot of people. I should be more general. Yeah, but anyway, I'm really gonna go now and have a nice lovely day, because it's like really, we're losing lighting here. So my next video is probably gonna be like something like with makeup, because like, again, because like, oh my gosh, a lot of like the tutorial videos, what did I last post, those seem to be getting love, so I'm gonna do more of that and see, because like, I'm very like you know, neurodivergent person. I'm like really into a lot of different things, so I'm trying to gauge different communities. but everybody's like, oh my gosh, you need to do a niche, you need to be in a niche, and it's just like, I'm not a niche person. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.